It's our 8th anniversary, and what better way to celebrate than with our first major event of a very special year. I'm Adam Goff, CEO of Deliver, welcoming you to our online premium deal-making and thought leadership event, Connect Global. I hope you're looking forward to the one-to-one matchmaking opportunities available to you through our digital platform, and I trust those meetings provide you with all the solutions you need for your projects. I'm delighted you could also join us for our fantastic online content program while you're getting ready to seal those important deals. Across 5 days and nearly 20 sessions, leading figures from e-commerce, retail and logistics will be giving you invaluable insight and advice drawn from a wealth of global experience. Each day is themed around a central topic: logistic challenges, the future of retail, delivery and last mile, what the future holds for the people in our industry, and the technological transformation shaping the future. But don't let the discussions end here. We'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback around the ideas raised in these sessions, so I'm warmly encouraging you to continue the conversation on Twitter or below in the YouTube comments. I'm also looking forward to seeing you later this year at our in-person events. We're at Deliver Europe in Amsterdam again in June, our very first Deliver Americas in Las Vegas in September. We'll have lots to talk about. With that, I'll leave you to sit back, relax, and enjoy day one of the content program. We're thrilled to have you with us. Welcome to Connect Global 2023.
Hi everyone, welcome to this broadcast. It's great to have you here virtually. My name is Tamar Krijgsman and I'm a director in PWC Netherlands consulting practice. I focus on retail and consumer clients and I'm one of the founders of the Retail Monitor research. Last year we started the Retail Monitor and we were happy to present our findings on the Deliver stage for the first time. This year we are back for the second time and we are glad to be here. Let me hand you over to my colleague to introduce herself.
Thank you, Tamar, and welcome everyone. My name is Andrea van Luyk and I am a manager in the PWC NL consulting practice where I do work on the cutting edge of retail and supply chain. And together with Tamar, I am one of the founders of the Retail Monitor research. So, what is the Retail Monitor about? The Retail Monitor is a data-driven research of PwC investigating the future of retail and is conducted with and for retailers. Every year we focus on one of the success factors that retailers have to take into account when preparing for the future. This year's Retail Monitor focuses on the success factor last mile delivery. The research was built up out of 3 components. The first, a survey sent out to some of you in the Deliver network to collect the retailer perspective. The second was an order study done within our PwC network to collect the consumer perspective. And lastly, we did an independent data analysis into financial and delivery performance of retailers.
In this broadcast, we would like to share our key findings with you. In addition, we have 2 guest speakers who will shed their light on the future of the retail industry based on this year's Retail Monitor results. Let me introduce you to our guest speakers of today. Milo Hartendorf, leader of the PwC Consumer Market Practice, and Willem Velthuijsen, Chief Economist.
My name is Milo Hartendorf. I'm partner in our international tax practice based in Amsterdam and also functioning in PwC Netherlands as consumer markets industry leader and as such overseeing all client relationships, business development and thought leadership in the retail and consumer sector.
My name is Willem Velthuijsen. I'm the Chief Economist of PwC. My role at PwC is the responsibility for the thought leadership from an economic perspective. There's quite a lot of economic transitions that we're going through, and one of the economic transitions that are interesting for economists is how we consume, what we consume, where we consume. This is one of the topics that we study at the moment.
Before we start the interview, let's look at the key results from the Retail Monitor 2023.
At PwC, we have done research amongst individual customers and more than 50 retailers. We defined 4 factors that together determine the success of the last mile delivery: accuracy, speed, convenience, and profitability. We learned that even though you would expect speed to be the most important success factor, it is actually not. For only 19% of retailers, improving speed is the main priority. When placing an order, immediately an expectation is set towards the customer. Here, the website states that the order placed right now is expected to be delivered the day after tomorrow. Last mile delivery is a process that consists of many handovers. For example, from a warehousing location to a distribution center, to a regional hub, to the final distribution party. Order tracking is offered by nearly all retailers and has therefore become an industry standard in last mile delivery. The customer receives track and trace details. Update: the package is due to arrive already tomorrow afternoon. Good news. Or not? Unfortunately not. Delivering faster than promised only makes the customer happy when it is convenient. But for the most part, customers want their packages delivered as expected. With speed, you cannot differentiate. When a retailer delivers on time, there is no increased performance perception. But when a retailer delivers outside the promised time frame, customers are generally unhappy about it. In our case, the customer was due to be at work tomorrow and now needs to make arrangements for someone to be home, or miss the package and go through the trouble of getting the package at a pickup point. Had the package arrived as expected, it would have been so much easier. Our research shows that managing and meeting expectations of the delivery process beats the actual delivery speed. Think about that one. Last mile delivery is all about setting expectations and meeting them. To do so, communicating and sharing information is key. Interested in more facts? Please read our article on the PwC website.
One of the key conclusions from our retail monitor is that fast delivery is no longer the key success factor for last mile delivery. 60% of the retailers indicate that accuracy is their biggest priority in last mile delivery. It is about setting and meeting expectations. How do you see this?
I absolutely recognize in the marketplace that accuracy is becoming the most important thing in last mile delivery. Most shoppers care more about convenience and accuracy around the delivery time than they care about as fast as possible. I think they simply want clarity up front. And that makes also a lot of sense to me as consumer, because if I order a TV online and I need to stay home for the delivery, then I rather have the retailer stick to the agreed delivery dates than showing up 2 hours later when I might have another appointment. And I think the track and trace tags that are being used a lot now in practice help a bit there, of course. But what would be even better for me as a consumer is that I can pick the delivery time myself, and also preferably a very narrow time frame, because of course for me as a consumer that brings me most certainty and convenience. Of course, this is all true, I think, generally for the non-food products. For food, grocery, online shopping, and also fast food delivery, speed is still very relevant. Also looking at the nature of the product. But on the other hand, also their accuracy is equally important for consumers, because if you have a hungry family waiting at home for some food takeout delivery, and the food arrives 1 hour later than expected, you probably will consider another party next time, right? So I think all these things around accuracy are just about meeting and managing customer expectations. And if you get that right, I think it's a great way to distinct yourself in the marketplace.
Let's go to the second question. The past years we have seen acceleration in the market due to the COVID pandemic and technological innovation. The majority of retailers indicated that more than 80% of their orders is fulfilled through last mile delivery. Do you recognize this? And which attributes do you see?
In terms of attributes, what we see is a broadening and more variation of options. So in the beginning, in the first COVID weeks, it was just delivering at home or not. So very 1-0. But what you now see developing is the many more options. So you see options in terms of timing. Does the customer want it at a certain day, or perhaps even at a certain hour, very specific hour, or can it be delivered in 2 weeks? So you see these options growing. You see options in terms of accuracy. So you see options pickup points or at home. So customers can choose more from more options, and you see that in the software when you click, you can choose all these options, and that is richness that is getting closer to the customer's wishes and preferences and their context and situations. So that is that's the highly demanding consumer is getting a lot of options at the moment, and you see also retailers learning from each other. So you see it developing. It's basically in development, this whole process.
Thank you. That's clear. Our third question is about our retail monitor, in which we also give some advice as to what retailers can do to become more sustainable. We have seen that only 25% of the retailers offer a choice to select a sustainable delivery option. If retailers do decide to offer sustainable options, customers want retailers to be more clear about what these options contribute to sustainability. We have also seen the importance of other topics like packaging or order consolidation. What do you think of this?
When it comes to sustainability and last mile delivery, there is clearly quite some work to do. Although we see retailers act upon this more and more in the market, for example, by providing sustainable packaging options or order consolidation. And also what we see is retailers charging for returns, which is of course helpful from a sustainability perspective. But sustainability can also be shown, of course, in the delivery method itself. I think in the Netherlands everybody recognizes the electrical vans from certain online grocery retailers, or electrical bikes or just normal bikes being used in the delivery by certain food delivery companies or other retailers. I personally find those ways of showing sustainability more powerful because it's really visible and tangible for the customer. If I compare that, for example, by offering the consumer a button when you order online for offsetting certain carbon emissions around delivery, because then I think it's less clear what happens to your money.
So, we talked about speed, accuracy and some convenience options. But what about profitability? How can retailers make delivery more financially sustainable?
Yeah, actually, I think the internet is a great platform to do this transition, because with internet you can check what you can check what your cost structure is for the different delivery options that you have. So a pickup point or a van every 24 hours, or a certain accurate moment that you want to deliver. So these different cost structures, you know them as a supplier, and then you can test where the willingness to pay for the customer is. So while the data build up, so if you accumulate the data on this, you can reach the situation where you understand in what context, with what products, what cost customer types of customers, you can maximize the willingness to pay that you can receive, match that with the cost structure, so you can become profitable again. But that requires time, that requires learning, that requires probably also trying. It's a bit the similarity with the airlines that also have had to build this up. So the yield pricing. So yield pricing is exactly what it what it means. What is the willingness to pay for the customer for particular situations, and what price can I charge to that customer? And that is a learning process that the industry has to go through.
Yeah, no, I agree. So collecting that data and then learning from it is I think, very important. And you also see that in the market, some of the retailers, they have these prime subscriptions. So you pay more, but then you have a little bit more reliability on speed delivery and also accuracy again, which are I think both very important factors for the customer. So I think in practice that works. So it works to charge that premium price to the customer, and I think so that can increase your profitability. But it can also increase, I think, your customer loyalty, because of course if I have such prime subscription, I'm probably more used to go to that provider again next time, right? Because it feels that I then paid for something already. So I think that medal has two sides on it. And I also had a question for you, if I may, because I was wondering, do you think that sustainability and maybe government stepping in here can also create here a way towards more profitability?
Well, I think that so far this is not a game where the government needs to step in, because there are no public goods at risk. So it's still the customer who wants something, and the customer is expressing his willingness to pay. The problems emerge where the government should step in when there is too much environmental damage because of all the vans that you talked about who are driving through the cities all the time, or the government should step in if labor conditions are at risk, or so if the public goods, or if there's concern from neighbors to pick up points, those kinds of public consequences of this transition, there maybe the government needs to step in with licensing and some regulations. But so far, the problems are really modest in my view.
Last question. What is your main advice for the retailer of the future?
My advice would be to choose your sweet spot in this new world where the consumer is highly demanding, will stay highly demanding, will look at all the alternatives and weigh your alternative against the others. So find your sweet spot where you're good at and where you can make a profitable business. And that might mean choosing to go into the delivery, yes or no, to have and a shop and delivery, or so to have a hybrid model, yes or no. And it all depends on the product that you sell. It depends on your context, the city, the place where you operate. So it's context specific, and there is no silver bullet yet. It's in development. Keep a close eye on that and find your sweet spot.
Be clear and transparent in everything you do. This regards delivery timing and delivery methods, but also sustainability. I think if you stick to your promise, you will definitely create happy and loyal customers.
This wraps up our broadcast for today. Thanks Milo and Jan Willem for sharing such interesting insights with the audience today. To all viewers, I hope it has triggered your mind on what the future of retail and last mile delivery could look like, both in general and for you specifically as a retailer or third-party logistics provider. And please feel invited to read our Retail Monitor in more detail and reach out to us in case you have any questions or concerns. Thank you for watching, and hopefully until next year.